I've covered sports for Inklings and Westport now for close to 15 years now. The scoring mishap at the end of the 2020 Maccabi games still haunts me.
It was
You know,
more
I gave you something to work with.
it was more at the fact that that we didn't care about you.
An old Israeli tradition. And this couldn't have been a better time to do it because, as you know, no one can go anywhere.
No. What happened at the Maccabi games, the inaugural Maccabi games, will stand alone in history. I don't care what kind of antics happen next year. The way things unfolded this year is unnatural, but the best kind of unnatural you can have in sports. It had me on my toes at every moment, and just the way things progressed made me want to be there. I can't wait for the next one, don't get me wrong, but it'll be nothing like the inaugural season.
It's like a championship game, Ben, right? There's 2 minutes left. You're battling underneath for a rebound. There's a little bit jostling. You don't make that call. You don't call a foul in that instance during a championship game like that. You just don't make that call. He calls me on a foot fault. I immediately had to walk off the court because I knew I was going to lose my composure. And I was really, really pissed. I came back, continued what I was doing, put up some really good shots that naturally rattled in and out, and completely lost my momentum. They used it to ice me, and it was effective.
They play hard. They played hard and dirty. They were out for blood at each and every moment, running, throwing, shooting, passing, and never stopped.
Going through your head right now? How are you going to come back?
Many people
Should have been mine. I was left for dead. Guess what? W. Football. Come from behind. W. If I could poison his food, I would. That's how I feel right now. If the rest of us could eat like kings and he was ration food, that's what I would do. If I could cut off the water so he couldn't bathe for a week, that's what I would do.
mathematically impossible for you to win right now, Cody. Thoughts?
I'm not doing this interview.
I was trying to get Cody motivated to win. Shove it up his ass. Shove it up his ass, Cody. Stretch out. Do some striders. Come on.
Anyone want to do strides?
Cody, come on. Let's go. Not gonna lie to you. He had a rough Maccabi on. Didn't work out for him in a lot of events. And Chase won the chug, and you won the race, and he backdoored the victory.
First and foremost, I'm honored and privileged to have won the first ever Gornbein Macabbi games.
And then, of course, you have Chase, who is trying to beat his family and especially his father, who some suspect may love Armstrong Noonan more than him. There's a lot happening here. I don't know how motivated the different actors were by each of these things, but that's what's being reported.
Many times I tried to tell you, many times I cried alone. Boys, I'm surprised how well you cut my feelings to the bone. Don't wanna leave you, really. I've invested too much time to give you up that easy. To the doubts that complicate your mind, we belong to the light, we belong to the
Yeah, I mean, Chase won the games, but I think it's really important to look at the big picture, the identity, this loud identity that the Gornbein. Yeah, I heard about that instance. I know it was a great story, but no one knew who the hell knew who the hell that guy was, right? It was some dude. I don't even know. I can't even.
You want to know more about those Gornbein boys? Which one? Logan, Cody, Chase? I mean, I don't know where to start. Alright, I got a little story for you. This must have been a few years back when everyone still had the youthful energy. I remember popping into Little Barn, some bar off of Post Road. And who do I run into? None other than Dave, Cody, and Chase grabbing drinks with Benny Foss and those two Zeldis characters. What are the names? Jack and Rich Zeldis. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, it's before daylight savings, so you know how it gets dark by 4 o'clock around here. Yeah, well, these guys must have been drinking since the sun was still high in the sky. I mean, they were absolutely zooted. I swear, Chase told me he must have had 15 drinks up to this point. Probably sucking down those damn blueberry margs. You ever had one of those things? Oh, they're so good. Delicious. You gotta try one. Anyway, we wrap up getting drinks and apps. You know, the usual stuff. Calamari, chips and dip, some fine cheeses, the whole 9 yards. And after all this, the Gornbein boys still have the energy to host a beer pong tournament in their basement that night. Legends. Absolute legends, I tell you. Each and every one of them. Then, the best part is they'll wake up the next day, bright and early, and run the whole thing back. Maybe they'll have a little debate over whether they want Chinese food or bagels and lox. But by noon, 1 o'clock, they'll be out in their backyard drinking beers, playing cornhole without a care in the world. You have to respect the way they live. You really do. That's about all I know about those damn Gornbein boys.
When you hear the word Gornbein, what comes to you?
Crazy.
Yeah, I can give you. Well, no. I can describe the Gornbeins in 3 words for you right now. Athletic, competitive, and competitive.
Logan, considering that you came last in more events than I did, and I beat you in more events.
Logan.
Cody, he's been underachieving a little bit athletically and wants to get back to where he was when he ran the duel in the rain. Similarly, you had Logan, who has now gone through puberty, become a giant douche, and is looking to formally take the throne from his family that he already thinks he has, and to avenge his lackluster performance in the Duel of the Rain.
Is Logan keeping score of conflict of interest? Absolutely. He didn't finish very well in the race in the rain, and he probably wanted us to prove something.
Two great combatants coming in. Logan Gornbein's the first one. Look at him, poised, ready, athletic, like a cat. Cody Gornbein, ever confident, a certain type of strut in his walk, as only great ones have. This is over. This is over before it ever began. I think I can hear cries. I think I can hear teardrops. Not raindrops, but teardrops from here. Here's the champion coming by right now, folks. Keep going, Cody. Finish it strong. Finish it, Cody. Finish it.
You are so bad, Logan.
There he is. You can see a little speck of him. His opponent already finished now.
Stop!
Here comes our weeping opponent.
Stop!
Weeping, crying, broken. Look at him. You remember him at the beginning of the race? The confidence, the swagger, his prediction?
Well, I don't want to be so cocky, but if I had to say, I think that it would be a pretty close match.
That whole picture, Chase.
I think that he's gonna go too fast again.
Look at him now, folks. He's on pace to run a 10-minute mile. You know, a 10-minute mile. The whimpers, the cries. Look at him, broken down. The stride nearly broken in half. He has no strut at all. He can't even, I don't even think he can finish it. You want to know where his opponent is? Oh, there he is. He's standing on the 50-yard line.
You make that call. 57-year-old guy, you call that on. The morning before a big event, a big tournament, a big game, the great ones get butterflies. They get nervous. They get up really, really early. They go through the preparation. I got up early today. I shot foul shots while my kids slept. I got up early today. I shot 3-pointers while my kids slept. I got up early today and I worked on my cornhole that I came in third while my kids slept.
3, 2, 1, go. Stop.
Even though I'm in last place and it's impossible for me to come first, I had a great time doing these events yesterday. I look forward to doing them today. But right now, to start out, I'm just here to have some fun.
I think this trophy will be mine by the end of it. Look, honestly, I outperformed in areas that I thought that I would do not so well in.
Was organized was the winner of the day before's events, they were the first person to go. So I'd won the race around the house the day before, which meant that for day 2, I was the person to lead off in that event. So you did have the opportunity to see what my time was, and I laid down a fire time.
Yeah, but it was more.
I gave you something to work with.
It was more at the fact that that we didn't care about you at that point because we thought that you had lost, which was our fault. Don't get us wrong, but like what was said before, we wrote you off, which we shouldn't have. But to us, your time really didn't matter. It's a two-man race at this point between Dad and I, and it's gonna come down to the race around the house and the beer chug. You got anything to say?
I wouldn't say there was friction between Chase and Logan. Yes, they're both competitive, but I think Logan was just leveraging his placement at any point in time against the rest of his competitors. Chase didn't fire back too much because he's a patient cat. He knows where he is in the standings and he knows what he has to do to finish where he wants to finish. I think at times Logan was a little harsh towards him, but Chase was the bigger cat in the end.
Yeah, and to Logan's defense, I don't necessarily fault him for it. He was the guy who was the person to beat on day 2. He came out very hot, winning the free throw contest, the first event of the day. He had that momentum going for him. So you feel like in a rhythm, you feel like you can overextend your boundaries a little bit. So I don't necessarily disagree with him, but I will say, I think he was willing to compensate the love of the game and the camaraderie for his own competitive benefits, and I think as a result, that's what cost him the championship moving forward.
Day 2, the entire competition comes down to the race around the house. At this point, Chase thinks he's done for. It doesn't matter. He knows it's a win, but it doesn't matter. Dave elects to sit it out because he's old. And what it comes down to is essentially Duel in the Rain Part 2.
Going into the final event today, you were down 3 points. He's decided to take this event off. He's taken the L there. What needs to happen in order for there to be a tie is that you have to beat our friend over here. Do you think you're going to beat him in the last event to ensure a tie between you and your competitor over there?
Correction, I'm actually down 4 because then it would be the tie. But
Yeah, I got
this kid's like fat. There's no chance I lose to him.
I need more muscle
Absolutely,
mass.
there is no chance that I lose to him. He ran track for 4 years. I ran for a year. I sucked. I quit. I was awful. But it doesn't matter, okay? I'm going to beat him. It's going to be a tie.
For Dave to win, Cody has to beat Logan in a race around the house. And this might be Cody's best chance to win a competition in this event. And it's a chance for Logan to poetically avenge his disastrous loss in the Duel of the Rain.
Cody needs to beat my time of 19.55. Shave off half a second or more to beat me.
I just ran about 5 minutes ago. I'm a little gassed, but
Yeah, that's good for me.
I love the start, Cody. I love it.
Go get it, Cody. Go get it. Go get it.
Let's go. Let's go. Turn it up.
13.
Let's go. Let's go.
14.
Go get it, Cody.
15. 16. 17.
That race, the thrill of it, didn't even matter. Didn't matter. Chase had it in the bag. Jeez.
I went over the numbers because I'm very good with the numbers.
I thought I was good.
And I realized that with me sitting out the last event and him potentially coming in second, best case scenario, that we were going to be tied. I knew that as a truism. And I relayed that to him, who didn't believe it because he had the numbers wrong in his head. Finally, he ran them, realized it, and we didn't even think it, Chase, because somebody said that he was mathematically eliminated. He wasn't. Can I trust his mathematical acumen going forward? Probably not. I'll need to check it myself.
If we're gonna put blame, the blame is rightfully on me. Better lack of terms, I f***ed up the numbers.
The sheer lack of expectations I had going into that final event for Chase and how it ended up was really quite spectacular.
It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. You know, I started day 2, 1 point behind the leader. And halfway through day 2, I was in 3rd place by a large margin. But again, it's not about where you start, it's where you finish. You know, it was a full 180-degree turn for me. Everyone's sitting there on their phones calculating. I'm thinking, you know, it's over. We got the score up there. The math's already been written out. We've seen the addition, subtraction, whatever you want to do. It's all on the board. You know, how could I possibly have been in contention? And then when I hear holy, and then I hear again holy from both of them simultaneously, I thought, could it be? And then I realized it is true. I am the winner. I did my due justice, and I'm very honored and excited to be the winner of the first Gornbein Maccabi games.
I've learned that life may be a competition, and it's definitely gonna be a struggle, and you're definitely gonna find competitive people out there all the time, and you always want to be one step ahead of them, and you're always trying to prove yourself to be the best, is what I would probably take away from this the most.